Across the Midwest, John Deere workers are on strike. Employees here in Iowa to Kansas and Illinois walking off the job this morning as contract negotiations continue. Thank you for joining us this evening. Our Local 5 reporters have been on this story since yesterday, talking to folks at John Deere plants in the Hawkeye State. Let's get right to our team coverage tonight. Local 5's Mary SUGDEN and John Diaz. John is live in Ottumwa tonight. Mary is in Ankeny. Now, Mary, you have been at the plant all day long. What are you hearing there?
Yeah, Samantha, out here in Ankeny, you can see behind me here the picket line, and this is really what it's looked like out here since midnight when that strike went into effect. Workers here taking shifts on the picket line to keep it staffed throughout the hours. And as you can hear right there, as cars go by, they're honking their horns basically to show support for the picketers. You can see them having a reaction to that every time it happens. Now, workers here have declined to give official interviews on camera, but I did speak to a few who estimate there's about 800 workers here at this plant where they make things like cotton pickers and strippers and other types of different sprayers. Now, I spoke with also a number of Ankeny residents who tell me that they are anxiously awaiting to see what happens with this strike, with many of them having either friends or family who work here at this plant.
For a union right now, and I'm a part of the union here at Tones, I mean, you're in a great position to negotiate what you need to negotiate for, and I mean, it's time you start getting the wages you deserve and the benefits you deserve. I mean, this is the time to fight for it right now. I think it's tough for someone to live around here and not know somebody that works at John Deere.
Now, I also spoke with a worker at a bar that's actually just around the corner from here, kind of on the south side of the plant. She says a number of her customers are workers here at the John Deere facility. She says she's really starting to get worried if this strike continues for some time. Really, what's that going to mean for her business? So she, like many other Ankeny residents who I talked to throughout the day here, are hoping this can come to a resolution sooner than later. Live in Ankeny, Mary SUGDEN, Local 5 News. We are Iowa.
Mary, thank you. And as we mentioned, Mary's been out at the Ankeny facility all day. We're turning now to Local 5's John Diaz, about an hour and a half away from the metro in Ottumwa tonight. John, this is going to have a major effect on the agriculture industry here in Iowa and across most of the U.S. What are you hearing from farmers?
Hey, Samantha, farmers, as you can imagine, are keeping an eye on what's happening behind me, this strike. And they have been in contact with their manufacturers because they're really trying to understand how this strike is going to affect them, especially during harvest season. We spoke with a man named John Deerek, and he's a farmer out of Linn County. And he tells us he's been riding Deere tractors since the 90s. His father used one, his grandfather used one, and he just bought a new one. And when he was talking to the salesperson, he was asking her questions about what this means, what the strike could potentially mean. They didn't have the inside scoop, and he wasn't getting the information that he needed.
For some people, if you had a part that was not a highly stocked inventory part, and that brings things to a grinding halt, and you can't get it from John Deere because of the strike, because of parts distribution issue or something like that, that could become a real issue for somebody. They could go from working to sitting and waiting for parts.
Now, Ari tells us that he does have some extra equipment, so he doesn't think he's going to be terribly impacted this harvest season, but he knows farmers that he works alongside who are not in the same position, and he's worried that they may end up hitting some roadblocks. And as you can imagine, John Deere Company really doesn't want this to affect their customers. They have a mitigation plan in place that is active right now, and they told us in a statement today, quote, "Employees and others will be entering our factories daily to keep our operations running," end quote. Deere also telling us that they really do hope to reach an agreement rather with UAW and the employees here, but they're also having to focus on ensuring that this doesn't affect their customer base. For now, we are live outside the John Deere facility in Ottumwa. John Diaz, Local 5 News. We are Iowa.
Thank you, John. You may be wondering, how did we get here? Here are 3 things you need to know about the Deere strike and contract negotiations. 1, the UAW is upset about the pay increase offered to workers. They say the bump is just not enough. 2, the proposed deal would have been done away with pensions for new employees. And 3, Deere's profits have grown by more than 60% in recent years, and the CEO's salary grew by 160% during the pandemic. Workers are argued those profits prove the company has the financial ability to pay them more than what was offered. This is not the first time Deere employees hit the picket line either. Back in 1986, workers walked off the job for nearly half a year. At that time, they were fighting for a fully supplemented pension and post-retirement health care plans, much like the workers of today. The 86 strike caused record losses for the company. As the UAW begins this strike, we want to hear from you. Do you agree with the workers? Is this going to affect your business? Let us know by sending us a text at the number on your screen. That is 515-457-1026. We're going to be following the latest on this strike until a deal is reached. You can stay up to date on the latest information by downloading our app. You want to just scan the QR code you see on your screen right now. Make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss an update.